Hello, everybody. This is Clint Macro and Matt Mallory. Matt's back. He was teaching a class a few moments ago. We're here at the 2026 NRA annual meeting at the Voices of the Second Amendment area, specifically at the Meet the Pressers Gun Freedom Radio Studio of Liberty. We got some special guests. Matt, you want to do the honors?
We got KD, Kevin, and Darin from the NRA. KD, No Other Choice Firearms. Darin, the NRA. We're here, so we got to have NRA reps.
Part of the NRA.
Part of the
NRA.
I thought you were
the NRA.
No.
Oh, that's
I'm
great.
big, but I'm not that big.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Cool. So what do you got going on, KD? What's up and coming? How you been? What's new?
Why are you like just fireball questions? Can I just answer?
No, it's my show. Stop.
All right, that's fine. It is. Oh no, man, I'm having a good time. I'm still doing all the advocacy work I've been doing. The newest thing with me is opening up that 40-acre facility down in Georgia. Outdoor spot, trying to develop it and learning all the nuances and crooks of like being that kind of guy, right, on an outdoor spot and things of that nature from a range. But it's also a community project, so it's like gun range meets community outreach, right? So we have a combination of both, right? We do things to better human beings and rely on the Second Amendment to defend it. So that's kind of what I've been up to. I got a son. My son has went off into the United States Army now. Cool. So he's having a good time.
He's MOS.
He is ATC. I don't know the number, but he's an air traffic controller. But no, he's a forward traffic controller. So
cool.
He's attached to units to go out and call in.
It wouldn't make sense to have a backwards traffic control.
I mean,
Planes fly back.
Yeah.
Huh? Planes fly back.
I saw a shark swim backwards in that one movie.
That one movie. Only in Hollywood.
So
that's awesome, though. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. I'm really proud of him. He got in there. He's been there for a year, and he made the military rewrite their manual. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm scared for him. He's got weird shoe. I mean, he's got a size 20 shoe wide.
What?
Yeah, and they couldn't find his boots, so they made he wore tennis shoes for.
No, hold on. You said 20?
20. Yeah, 20.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
he's big. Well, he's 6'6", about 2. Well, they got him down to 270.
That's
6'6", 270.
right?
Shaq's a 22.
Oh, he is? Oh,
yeah, Shaq's a 22. So they couldn't. It was back and forth. They couldn't figure out his shoe size and how to get him. They couldn't find a supplier. Nobody could do anything for almost 2 years, and then we lucked up thanks to I forget the gentleman's name, but he put it out on social media. He does a lot of military activism, and he went out and he actually found a lady in South Korea. Wow. To go out and make them his shoes. So the military manual changed because of him. They now have a process that supply has to react to. So they put it in the manual. And now, if you have a weird shoe size in the armed forces, and you can now get your shoes. My family did that.
Yeah, nice. I reach out to Shaq.
So I gotta ask this. Having a son with feet that big, like, were there a whole lot of options to get him shoes anyhow?
You know what? I looked up. When he turned, his feet really grew. He was able to wear like my shoes. He was like, I wear size 13. We were neck and neck till he was about 12. Kid because they were still stylish shoes. So he didn't get teased or anything in high school. But yeah, the shoe size is hers.
Who would have thought you'd be talking about shoes on Meet the Pressers?
Hey, man. People out there got kids and families.
They do.
Stuff going on.
Hey, we shoot, so.
Yeah, so do you wear shoes when you work at NRA? And explain a little more what you do at the NRA, because your role has kind of evolved over the last couple of years.
Yeah, well, the first thing on shoes is usually you got to find good shoes because you're standing around capitals every day, and those marble floors eat them up. So if you look at my shoes today, I got these ugly, like, old man running walking shoes because I knew I was going to be putting miles. No. These are probably actually the most expensive shoes that I've had, so nothing fancy, but they save your feet when you're putting on miles on the show. So, but yeah, no, it's this in a 2-year cycle is the busiest time of year in a midterm election year. when all the legislative sessions are in session, and then the annual meeting is going on. So this is actually the first annual meeting I've been to in 9 years, because time-wise it just doesn't happen. In fact, I'm coming in hot off of an all-night hearing in Rhode Island. It was Tuesday night. Turned around, had some stuff in Jersey, flew to Houston. Last week I was in Pennsylvania doing stuff. So it's like on top of all of that, we're doing grades and endorsements for candidates. The states with the early primaries are going first. Pennsylvania was the first state up. We just posted last week our Pennsylvania primary grades. So it's absolutely a crushing time of year. And I always tell my wife, I said, when December and November roll around and I'm hunting and not doing much, I try not to feel guilty about it, because it's definitely, you make up for it in the early part of the year, and especially in an important midterm election year like this. I mean, we are just crazy busy. There's no other way to describe it. So,
yeah, I think this year, every election is always very important. This year, especially in Pennsylvania,
yes.
if we lose just a few senators, we're going to be like Virginia in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
The thing that's been keeping the anti-gun forces at bay is the fact that there was pro-gun forces in the Senate.
Yeah.
But it's not a high majority. So if we lose a few seats, man, we could very easily end up like Virginia. So Virginia should be a teachable moment for all gun owners. You've got to be registered to vote and actually go out and vote, and consult the resources that ILA puts forth, that FOAC in Pennsylvania also puts forth. All the state level organizations do their ratings as well, and vote for pro-gun candidates. Vote for pro-gun candidates.
And not just how they vote, but like what they say too, right? Because how they vote's obviously the end part, but if they say, I'm pro-gun, well, look how they vote, because that might not match.
Yeah, and the scary thing in the Pennsylvania, like you brought up a very good point on the Senate. It is our backstop in Pennsylvania to stopping anything bad from it not becoming Virginia. And we're very much in jeopardy there, because there's only a few seat margin. If you lose 2 or 3 seats, it's an entire different ballgame there. And our problem right now in the primary is, if you go to NRA PBF's website for Pennsylvania, we've posted 3 Senate races where we've endorsed. And the issue there is, they're getting primary challenges not on the gun issue. They're getting from a well-heeled private interest that's primarying 3 of our very solid
gaming companies.
Yeah, I wasn't going to name
I'm
names,
saying
as long as you
it's
are.
the games of skills.
Yeah.
They're trying to get rid of Lisa Baker, who's the chair of the Judiciary Committee.
Yeah.
Lisa Baker herself single-handedly has staved off gun control because she won't let it go through committee.
Yep.
And she's being attacked by that lobby, which is arguably a conservative lobby the way it's packaged. And so we're eating our own right now.
Yeah.
And what that's going to do is jeopardize that district. And if it goes purple to blue, we lose it. And we lose the majority in the Senate. And
yeah, that's the real danger, is if one of these incumbents, they already have a proven record, if they lose, now all of a sudden you have a very inexperienced candidate. And let's put it this way. If they lose those races, they instantly become targets for the Democrats, because they're now winnable seats. And if you put 3 new seats on the map as being part of the game going into the election, it changes the entire dynamic. You lose the Senate, we got big problems. So this is the one thing, if I can have a message in this entire broadcast that people should take away, is elections are important. Guess what? Donald Trump is not on the ballot, so you still need to go vote. We have so many people that vote when Trump is on the ballot, and he energizes people, but then they sort of go, yeah, we're all right, I don't really need to go out and vote. There's nothing that can be further from the truth. This election is absolutely critical, not only in Pennsylvania, in other states as well, but especially in Pennsylvania. And we see every year in the national politics how important. Pennsylvania is the new Florida, right? Where the entire presidential election comes down to Pennsylvania.
Without the alligators.
Yeah, without the alligators. And
That's the politicians.
and then we've also got congressional races. I do state and local, but the congressional races are going to be very important, because we know what the world's going to look like if Donald Trump has to, or he doesn't have a Congress to work with, and they are adversarial. He could probably queue up impeachment proceedings again, and that's the world we're going to go into for the next 2 years. And nobody wants that. The country doesn't want that. They don't need that, especially what's going on internationally. We just can't afford to go there. For gun owners, that becomes a dangerous time.
Sure. So, Katie, how do you Do you get questions like that a lot? Political questions in your classes in Georgia? Because Georgia's more, I don't know, I mean, what is it? It's more conservative leaning, I would say.
No,
right?
it is. It was purple a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Well, I get this question because of the way I operate my platform. Right? I have to engage in politics a lot. And I just tell people this: I don't trust any of them. Right? The one mistake people have made, I think, historically, since I've been alive anyway, is that you trust the conservative party with your gun rights. I don't trust any politician for any reason. I do play the political game, though, because if you think for a second that, oh, I don't care about politics. Well, politics cares about you. Yeah, it will absolutely affect your life, right? And so what I would like for people to do is pay attention to the policies that an individual is putting out and put aside party, because the conservative party is screwing us in Boston, right? I watched our former AG now sit in the Oval Office and talk about, how due process is, her and the president, right? Yep. Talk about how due process is not something that's important. Talk about red flag laws being pushed. So I don't do the conservatives for you. I do not do the Democrats for you. I do what person is going to sit in there and fight for your rights. And I think you should be involved in that at all times. I'm not married to one party. I am married to freedom. I'm in love with freedom. And that's what I want. So whomever stands with me on that, and now for me, and probably for a lot of you, that starts with gun rights. So that's kind of where we start. I can't have a marriage with you if you're like, we're gonna start this on bad terms. You gotta get rid of your guns, right?
Nobody needs an AR to hunt.
Yeah, we can't do that. But after that, if that person winds up being conservative leaning and they believe in freedom and they believe in protections, great. That's a good start. But I've seen personally, and I believe the reason why our gun rights are in such jeopardy is that the population at large has gotten comfortable with saying, oh, it's a conservative. They're going to protect my gun rights. We've seen conservatives back red flag laws. We've seen them
bump stock.
With the bump stock ban. You can't have an FRT in Florida. In Florida, the gunshine state, right?
Yeah.
So we've gotten comfortable, and I think in general, we've gotten comfortable saying that, oh, man, these people have it. This is going to be easy. We don't have to do anything. Why donate money? It's a conservative in office. Why get out and vote? The conservative party has it. It's a stop. The most power you have after voting is holding the people you vote in position accountable.
Yeah.
That's your real power. Once you vote for somebody, I'm going to be a bloodhound on your ass.
Something else that's interesting that a lot of people don't.
I said, well, why did you support this candidate?
We're back.
And we said, well, the reason we supported the opponent is because the opponent was an incumbent with a proven record. And we've said over and over, we have a friendly incumbency policy. If we make an ask of you to vote a certain way for the Second Amendment, and you do that, we're with you. If you don't do that and you're against us, we're against you. It's a very simple formula, and it transcends party lines. I couldn't agree with you more.
One of the issues I can say, and I'm speaking specifically to Pennsylvania state politics. I can't speak to all states or even federally with this state. The problem is you may have someone that leans more pro-gun. We've got certain candidates in PA that are pro-hunting, or at least they feign to be, therefore implying they're pro-gun. But ultimately, the leadership, you are in lockstep with the leadership. They will get primaried. They will lose their budget to buy that new bridge. They'll get rubbed out by leadership. So you have a few people in Pennsylvania, specifically in the House, who speak pro-gun, talk pro-gun, but ultimately they'll vote anti-gun. Or they'll be allowed to vote in favor of a bill, but when you look at how they vote in the constitutional and the constitutional challenge, and someone puts up a bill, someone says this is unconstitutional. So okay, everyone votes, is this constitutional or not? And they'll vote against that, but then they'll be allowed to maybe vote for a bill because the Democrats know it's not going to pass anyhow, because the governor is going to veto it. So it allows the public to be boondoggled to think this guy is pro-gun, when in fact the procedural votes and the amendment votes, the constitutional votes, they're anti-gun. They go party lines.
It's a wolf in sheep's clothing, yeah.
Yeah. So in PA, there really is no pro-gun Democrats left. I mean, my Senator Brewster was the last one. He was a blue dog Democrat and voted pro-gun across the board. One of our best guys. And as you mentioned, plenty of Republicans weren't.
Yeah.
You look at like when FOAC first started back in the early '90s, and I wasn't involved with them then. I was too busy playing drums and bands and stuff. I wasn't paying attention. But
you were happy.
Maybe. I was poor for sure. But at that time they were fighting the Republicans. The Democrats were actually the allies of our state level organization. They were the ones that helped to advance to get to where it was shall issue. We see how those things change over the years. But it's interesting to see. You got to look at the leadership too. And although Mr. So-and-so may actually speak pro-gun and hunts and goes to the range and stuff, when it comes down to it, the problem is elected officials want to be re-elected officials. And if they go against the leadership line, they lose their hand and they get permanent out. So they're lockstep.
That is why politics is an art, not a science.
Yeah, it's really very fascinating, but it's diabolical the more you learn about it. It's just a chess match, and they're playing chess with our rights, and that's wrong. That's absolutely
Train and learn. You got going on the horizon?
You want me to talk about training?
Yeah.
Okay,
Give a little spiel on Train and Learn and how people sign up and how they follow you for all the great training you put on.
All right, awesome. So Train and Learn is a 3-day professional development event. We hold that event outside of Atlanta, Georgia. This event is structured for anyone. Now, you could be successful, right, from the creator, influencer, instructor, blogger, writer, manufacturer, small, big, large, it's for everybody. But it's for industry only. And what we do at Train and Learn is we are addressing some of the industry woes from a grassroots level, right? So at that event, day one, we are starting off with nothing but professional development workshops in a classroom, right? You should have a gun on you, but we're not going to shoot that day. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about business and business ethics. Like, for example, this year we have a couple of venture capitalists coming in. We're going to talk about money, right? So what does money do for you? And they are speaking directly to our industry. So, right, they've done enough research in our industry. They're going to come talk directly to us. We have an attorney coming in who's going to talk to you about, your trademark, copyrights, make sure all those things are tight. What does your waiver look like? Right? So we have those things and a couple other things, so that the business development part of it is like my favorite portion, right? To get some of these things on track. And then after we have Friday, which I'm making it sound real simple, it's really a lot of fun and a lot of interaction, right? 6 hours long, nothing but workshops. Saturday, we get out to the range. We get out there, we have a rifle pistol training. And then we also do, this year we do 2 soft skills or 2 alternative skills. So this year we're doing close quarter combat. So we'll have a makeshift shoot house on the range. And then we're going to do, and you've taught one of our, soft skill classes. And this year we're adding in basic survival skills, right? So you know how to filter water, start a fire. Can you survive outside? You answer, right? Got some medical in there. We're going to do that. After we do that, we're going to have a networking event. We have a night vision experience, a networking event around a big bonfire. You get to network with the people that are there. We are also including, after the guns are put up, obviously, safety first, we're going to include a cigar and bourbon pairing class, 15-minute class. And you get to keep a pour bourbon and a cigar, right? And then sit around a fire, network. The next day we come back, we have 3 additional classes. We're going to have what they're talking about, and I don't know, and I don't want to. Right? It's women of the industry, and I am not involved. I don't want any smoke. I provide the space. They go have the class. We're also having a course this year about how to do the most of what you have, and that is structured around all I have is a cell phone. I'm a content creator or I'm a manufacturer, and I don't have $2,000 to pay for professional photos. How can you unlock this thing and get what you need out of that, right? To expand your business, and then we're going to have an instructor workshop where we're basically going to have some real hard conversations why instruction is being frowned upon because, lightheartedly, a lot of people are cosplaying as instructors, right? And we want to address that, so we'll address that. So that entire event, we feed you 3 times at that event. We provide all the ammunition recommended. We have good food. No. All the ammunition required for training. We provide. It's about anywhere between $6,000 to $8,000 worth of creataways that are at the event. You get a swag bag, 13 different classes, and a new network. And the entire weekend is $400.
I forgot. Yeah, this is what I'm wanting there. That's what I got.
Oh yeah, see, you got your little tool.
Poke your eye out, kid.
Hey now.
The funny thing is, you said all this equipment is like $2,000, and I'm thinking, yeah, but these are $1,000.
Yeah.
They're already halfway there, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy.
Absolutely. And then for and that event is Memorial Day weekend, May 22nd through the 24th. You can find more about it at nootherchoice.com/train-and-learn. That's nootherchoice.com/train-and-learn. And it's a good time and it's a good event. And then as far as the training goes, let me say this. Somebody asked me a very good question here. They were like, well, what is the way you can prove to me that the event works, that I can see, that I don't have to read on the report? And I said, fair question, right? I said, okay, simple way. I asked the guy, what do you do? He's like, I'm a firearms instructor. I said, great. What's the one thing every firearm instructor worth their soul would want to have? Like, the one thing. And he took a couple of wrong guesses. I was like, well, what about a range? And he was like, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I said, well, I got a 40 acre. And the things that I learned from my network is how I got it. You want to come or not? Right. So different things like that. But Train and Learn has generated over $6 million for small businesses, and we're in our 70s.
That's good.
And that's what
able to. Right. Yeah, it's good to be able to track that and be able to get.
Yeah, we tell people nobody ever. I don't know what people's tax situations are, so they give us reports afterwards that we promise to keep confidential. But we did have one organization that flat out stood up and said, yes, our first year in business, they're FFL, out of St. Louis, Crime Protection SEO. They said our first year in business did about 50,000. Came to Train and Learn. Very next year we did 150. Came back to Train and Learn. Third year they were doing $500,000. Right? And that's not every Train and Learn gave them everything, but it covered some of the holes for them, right? Put them on the pathway. And so those are some of our stories. So yeah, that. And then as far as training, I have the extreme pleasure, and I always say this, of traveling the country, being in the dirt, the gravel, the mud, or concrete floors with Americans, teaching them how to, use the tools that they have. So you can find more about that at nootherchoice.com/training. I'm traveling around the country. I have a good time doing it. I know I'm speaking to a couple of guys who do the same thing. I know you guys get the warm fuzzies when you see different states and new people as well. So I'll be in Missouri next month, back in my home state. But I think I got Missouri, Texas, Pennsylvania. Actually, I'll be up in PA. Pennsylvania, Florida, Atlanta. We're trying to still make sure our Alaska class can go on. But this economy is kind of making that one very challenging, right? Those guys up there are paying like $20 for a bag of donuts. So it's kind of hard to get them to come out and pay for a class, which I get.
You get a lot of cops up there.
They do.
They should get you to New York.
They need more state troopers. Oh, you really should? Really? I can come to New York?
Yeah.
I never knew.
Bring up to New York?
Oh, I never knew. Yeah, I've only known you for how many years now? Brought me up for a class either.
He's coming to New York.
I don't get invited to New York.
So we got some.
I don't take a gun when I go, though. I take a certain.
Yeah, or the first time you came, you mailed it to me because the FFL's on the property, and then I mailed it back to your FFL there to be completely legal under New York State law.
Probably what I'll do.
We got DJ Plays Nice says salute to Gun Webs. Somebody, they scrolled it down. Train and Learn.
Will Train and Learn ever be in
Florida?
No, we're leaving Train and Learn located right now for the foreseeable future in Atlanta, Georgia. One, because of the price of the event, being $400 for $400 for 3 days of training, there's food, ammo, and all that included. Logistically, I can control a lot of those costs where I'm at. I can manage the costs. If we move it, I am subject to whatever the range wants to charge, range fees, where I control the range now, right? So we can take a $400 event and quickly, without blinking, turn it into a $1,000 event, right? Which is worth it, but that's the reason we're going to stay locally where I can control it.
Good. Hey, thanks for being here. Yeah, they're all giving you kudos.
And Florida's right below you. Drive your butt across it.
That's true. It ain't that far. Cool.
Well,
all right, so No Other Choice Firearms, how do they stalk you? I mean, find out more about you and help with the NRA.
The one thing I will say, the little shameless plug I'll give before we end is NRA just rolled out a new app. So if you go to the iTunes store, download the app, It's got a digital ID on there. It's got, actually, I looked, it's got catalog issues of, back issues, archived issues of American Rifleman, American Hunter. There's some discounts on there for a few people. My understanding is we're going to grow that, and they're going to start selling some enhanced membership, I think, to really open up the discounts. So they're starting to do some things on the app. Now, when you go to it, keep in mind, this is brand new. We've had massive amounts of downloads recently, and that's only going to grow, and so is the app. So, but NRA is trying to get more in the digital world. As everybody knows, our magazines went fully digital. So there's still a periodical. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing with even our questionnaires. Everything's getting automated with email only. The days of faxing and snail mail are over. And it was interesting this morning at one of the meetings. I think that they're doing some interesting things with direct mail, where they're actually cutting it back and then being more laser focused on who we're hitting with the mail, the people that respond to those. So there's a lot of really creative things that NRA is doing. But you can always find me. Listen, I give my email out. dgoens, DGOENS, at nrahq.org. So
We're not responsive. We get spammed.
I don't hide. Oh, will we get spammed now?
I don't know.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
That's all right. Great having you guys.
Great having you.
Yeah.
Great having you on my show.
Darin Goens.
Oh, I'll shake it. Thanks for coming on my show.
Pleasure.
Hey, check them out. Give them your business. Don't forget to sign up for the giveaways that we have. MeetThePressers.com/giveaways. And don't forget to check Clint and my classes out tomorrow here at the NRA Annual Meetings 2026. Stay safe.